The following Choice Matters success story is made possible by the good people at Integrity Auto Finance, Oklahoma City.
A lot of times I reflect back on where I started, kind of where the trajectory of my life at that point. I was heavily involved with gang activity and just a lot of negative vibes around. And it wasn't that no one came up to me one day and said, hey, do you want to do bad things? You want to sign up for a gang? There was no application or anything. It was just part of our natural environment growing up. Santa Fe South was one of the biggest pieces of my success story because it's what I needed at that time. Just having that environment that they cared about you, that they were, they understood your story, they understood your struggles, they understood what made you angry, what made you excited, and using that to help educate you and trigger you to go a different path. That was, if I reflect back now, that was just pivotal in my career to getting on the right track. They brainwashed me to believe that I was smart, that I was a leader, that I was capable of all these other great things. And I believed it.
What's up, man?
Not much. Good. How are you?
Doing pretty good, man. Trying to get school back to normal.
Man,
it's tough.
I can imagine. It's a whole different world. So Mr. Furley at the time was teaching me computer classes, and I just loved his energy. He was involved in the yearbook project and in sports, and he just came off as someone who loves their profession, who cares about the students, who knew you personally. So for me, I think that's, again, what I needed at that time. Teachers like Mr. Furley, my math teacher, my science teacher at the time, who just really showed energy in the students, really showed that they loved what they're doing, and it was contagious.
His freshman year, he was still, I would say, maybe making some bad choices, hanging around with the wrong crowd, kind of deciding whether or not he wanted to be the tough street guy or wanted to be the smart guy that he knew that he was. A lot of times in that culture, it's not cool to be smart.
Willie Morales is a former student here. Yeah. This guy was not exactly a motivating guy at the beginning. Now he's an engineer in Boeing.
I always used to come back year after year to work with the students, to mentor, to help on, and just inspire them.
There's a lot of work out there, cool work. It's just what excites you. To me, when I see an airplane, I'm like, that's cool, that's what I want to work on. Yeah. So think about that when you're making decisions on what you want to do in life, is what's going to excite you every day, right? Like, that's cool, that's what I want to get paid to do, right? Not a job that you're like, man, I got to go work and this sucks or whatever, but it's like, what am I going to wake up every day and be like, I get paid to do this? Yeah. That's cool.
If I didn't have a chance to choose to go to a school like Santa Fe South Charter School, I don't know where my life would be.
We've seen many cases where students who are on a pathway to, in the best case, not being able to get into college, and in the worst case, heading towards a life of crime, that have completely had their trajectories changed by some of the choices that their parents are making.
So I did feel like an underdog. I did feel like I was, didn't have the same opportunities, that I was at risk because of all the challenges that I was facing in my community. But I think that made me stronger. Till this day, that kind of grit, that hard work ethic, that, absolutely will do whatever it takes to make whatever happen, that's still in me as a professional. But to look back now and to know that I work for the world's largest aerospace company, that I'm an engineer, that I have a bachelor's and a master's degree, it just kind of blows my mind.
He is definitely a huge success story of Santa Fe South, and we have a ton of those, but not a ton that we get to see as often as we do him, so it's really nice to see him. He loves this school, he loves what it did for him, he knows that it's an important place for him and so many other kids.
For me, it's important that choice matters, that we figure out what's the best choice, the best opportunities for our parents and our kids.
The preceding Choice Matters success story was made possible by the good people at Integrity Auto Finance, Oklahoma City. When it comes to buying a new vehicle, integrity matters. Visit integrityautofinancecom for more information.